Okay, next question. The various art forms, the various folk art forms found in India reflect its cultural diversity and are characterized by distinct regional variations. Explain with examples. Okay, so the key demand of this question is to write about the various manifestations of folk art in India. Okay, the structure of the answer should be in IBC format: introduction, body, and conclusion. So, in introduction, begin by giving a brief about folk art in India with examples. Okay, in body, mention about the major elements of folk art in India. Elaborate how they are manifestation of cultural diversity as well as regional specializations. Substantiate with examples. Okay, substantiating with examples will fetch you more marks. Okay, and in conclusion summarize it with respect to folk art of India. Okay, so in introduction, India had always been known as the land that portrayed cultural and traditional vibrancy through its conventional arts and crafts. The states and union territories sprawled across the country have their own distinct cultural and traditional identities and are displayed through various forms of art prevalent there. Every region in India has its own style and pattern of art, which is known as the folk art. It consists of paintings, music, dance, drama, martial arts, etc. In his Man Ki Baat address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke of several musical instruments and folk artists who he hoped would continue to inspire everyone at the grassroots towards making performing arts more popular. In body, the folk and tribal arts of India are very ethnic and simple, and yet colorful and vibrant, enough to speak volumes about the country's rich heritage. Folk art generally reflects the creative energy found in rural areas that acts as an undercurrent to the craftsmanship of the tribal people. They are intertwined with the lifestyle and activities of the people. Every social event of their lives is linked to one or the other folk art form, making it an imperative part of life. Okay, folk paintings. The rural folk paintings of India bear distinctive colorful designs which are treated with religious and mystical motifs. Some of the most famous folk paintings of India are the Madhubani paintings of Bihar, Padachitra paintings from the state of Odisha, the Nirmal paintings of Andhra Pradesh, Kangra painting from Himachal Pradesh, and Warli paintings from Maharashtra, and other such folk art forms. Each school has its own its each school has its distinct style of color combinations or figures and its features. Folk art is, however, not restricted only to paintings, but also stretches to other art forms such as pottery, home decorations, ornaments, clothes making, and so on. Folk paintings have a relationship with household ceremonies of marriage, birth, worship, or reverence for nature, religious occasions and worship, etc. Wali artists are animists living in the rugged part of the isolated Sahyadri range. Their traditional art forms were in the past restricted to images of the mother goddess and can be traced back to the Neolithic period. Their Tarpa dance reflects the cooperation of the villagers as they join hands and sway in quick circles to the steady bass drawn of a wind instrument called the tarpa. Folk dances. Folk dances. Okay. The regional dance of India, such as Bhangra dance of Punjab, Dandiya of Gujarat, Bihu of Assam. Okay, Bhangra dance of Punjab, Dandiya of Gujarat, Bihu dance of Assam, which project the cultural heritage of those regions, are prominent contenders in the field of Indian folk art. These folk dances are performed by people to express their exhilaration on every possible event or occasion, such as the arrival of seasons, birth of a child, weddings, festivals, etc. Okay, next is folk theaters. India has a longest and richest tradition in theater, going back to at least 5,000 years. The origin of Indian theatre is closely related to ancient rituals and seasonal festivities of the country. The actors of Band Pathar in Jammu and Kashmir are mainly from the farming community, and the impact of their way of living, ideals, and sensitivity in the drama is discernible. Swang in Haryana, where religious stories and folk tales are enacted by a group of 10 or 12 persons in an open area or an open air theatre surrounded by the audience. Raman it is celebrated every year in Baishag month, April, in the courtyard of the temple of Bhumiyal Devada, situated in Chamoli district, Uttarakhand. Jatra in Bengal refers to the musical plays performed at fairs in honors of God or religious rituals and ceremonies. Mudiyettu is a traditional ritual theatre and folk dance drama from Kerala that enacts the mythological tale of a battle between the goddess Kali and the demon Dariga. The ritual is a part of the Bhagavati or Bhadrakali cult. Okay, conclusion. The folk and the tribal arts of India speak volumes about the country's rich heritage. Art forms in India have been exquisite and explicit. Local fairs, festivals, deities, heroes, or warriors, myths, and legends play a vital role in these art forms. The governments, as well as other societies and associations, have therefore made all efforts to promote such art forms, which have become an intrinsic part of India's cultural identity. Okay, thank you very much. Uh, Next, we will discuss the secure synopsis of March 2023. Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature, and architecture from ancient to modern times. Okay, while the adopt a heritage scheme has the potential to promote the development and the preservation of heritage sites, it is essential to ensure that the program's implementation is closely monitored to prevent any negative impacts on the heritage sites critically examined. The Harappan civilization was an advanced society with a rich artistic and cultural heritage characterized by its geometric precision, sophistication, attention to detail, and abstract designs. Elaborate. So let's delve into the first question. While the adopt a heritage scheme has the potential to promote the development and preservation of heritage sites, it is essential to ensure that the program's implementation is closely monitored to prevent any negative impacts on the heritage site. Critically examine. Okay, so what's the key demand of this question? This is to write about the successes and limitations of the adopt a heritage scheme. Okay, here the directive word is critically examine. When asked to examine, we have to look into the topic, content words in detail, inspect it, investigate it, and establish the key facts and issues related to the topic in question. While doing so, we should explain why these facts and issues are important and their implications. When critically is suffixed or prefixed to a directive, one needs to look at the good and bad of the topic and give a fair judgment. Okay, so the structure of the answer should be in IBC format. Introduction, start by giving aims and objectives of adopt a heritage scheme. In body, first write about the major features of adopt a heritage scheme. Heritage sites are made available for adoption by companies, institutions, and individuals for the purpose of developing amenities such as toilets, drinking water facilities, pathways, illumination, landscaping, and other tourist friendly features. Next, write about the advantages of the scheme in promoting public private partnerships, which can lead to the development and the preservation of heritage sites. Next, write about its limitations. Commercialization of heritage sites, limit public access and participation, inadequate monitoring, etc. Conclusion, conclude by writing a way forward. So in introduction, the Adopt a Heritage Scheme by Ministry of Tourism was launched on Tourism Day World Tourism Day. One is World Tourism Day, 27th September 2017. This project is a key initiative of Ministry of Tourism in close collaboration with the Ministry of Culture and Archaeological Survey of India to develop the heritage sites, monuments, and making them tourist friendly to enhance the tourism potential and their cultural importance in a planned and phased manner. Okay, the body should include working of adopt a heritage scheme, then the background or recent development, then the advantages of the scheme in promoting public-private partnerships, then the potential challenges in promoting PPPs, and the measures needed, and finally the way forward. Okay, so working of adopt a heritage scheme. The sites or monument for this scheme will be selected on the basis of tourist footfall and visibility and can be adopted by a private or public sector companies and individuals known as monument mitras for an initial period of 5 years. Okay, the monument mitras are selected by the oversight and vision committee co-chaired by tourism secretary and the cultural secretary. There is no financial bid involved and the corporate sector is expected to use corporate social responsibility CSR funds for the upkeep of the site. The monument mitras in turn will get limited visibility on the site premises and on the Incredible India website. Okay, the oversight committee also has the power to memorandum terminate a memorandum of understanding in case of non-compliance or non-performance. Okay, background or recent development. Private firms, companies, and public sector units can enter into agreements with the Union Ministry of Culture to adopt and maintain state-owned archaeological of site or monuments. Businesses that enter such agreements are going to be known as monument mitras. The central government's target adoption of 500 protected sites by August 15 and the adoption of another 500 sites shortly thereafter. Okay, advantages of this scheme in promoting public-private partnership. Businesses may use their corporate social responsibility funds at select sites to construct and maintain ticket offices, restaurants, museums, interpretation centers, toilets, and walkways. They may illuminate monuments, set up guided tours, hold cultural programs, and fix equipment for light and sound shows. Corporate control of some monuments and heritage sites ensure that their maintenance and operations could be handled more professionally, facilitate sustainable tourism infrastructure, and ensure proper operation and maintenance within it. An agency with the best vision for the heritage site will be given an opportunity to associate pride with their CSR activities. Okay, the company would also get a limited visibility on the premises and the Incredible India website. Okay, create employment opportunities and support community livelihoods in and around historic, natural, and tourist destinations. Okay, potential challenges in promoting PPPs. Lack of experience. Permitting a watch company without expertise in bridge engineering to maintain a colonial era bridge in Morbi, Gujarat, possibly contributed to heart wrenching tragedy. Okay, redundancy. Monuments selected, such as the stupas at Sanji, Brihadeshwar Temple at Tanjavur, Akbar's Palace at the Fatehpur Sikri, already have tourist infrastructure, livelihood of local communities. The scheme undermines the local communities and the relationships with historical sites. Guided tours led by employees of large businesses may endanger livelihoods of those who have lived near the site and made a living by regaling visitors with stories of its colorful past. Night tourism, keeping these spots open from dawn to dusk has limited football and thus preserved them from excessive wear and tear. Night tourism will also put electricity away from rural homesteads and hospitals. Okay, Night tourism, keeping these spots open from dawn to dusk, that has limited football and thus preserved them from excessive wear and tear. Night tourism will also pull electricity away from rural housesteads and hospitals. Okay, monuments not adopted by monument mitras. Okay, the Uttar Pradesh government has started turning over such monuments to the tourism department to convert them into hotels. They include Chunar Forest, a citadel overlooking in Barswagar Lake, and several residents built by Awad's Nawab. Corporate interest over historical preservation. Corporate interest over historical preservation. The move by UP government confirms that the scheme is continuing to place reckless tourism and corporate interests over historical preservation. Okay, next is Sarnath initiative. The current plan also sidelines the mandate of the Archaeological Survey of India ASI and abandons the Sarnath initiative. The Sarnath initiative is the guidelines devised by the ASI, the Trust, US, the British Museum, and the National Cultural Fund to safe keep excavated objects and present them to visitors in an engaging manner. Okay, next is measures needed. Measures needed. Traders and shopkeepers can give funds to school libraries for collecting archival materials, including books, maps, and old photographs relevant to monuments. Okay, corporates can give them a new lease of life to humanities and social science departments by instituting fellowships, endowing professorships, and supporting research training programs. The CSR funds can also be used to purchase new equipment that protect the monuments from the hazards created by pollution. The private sector's resources and expertise may also help the SI and state archaeology department directorates to secure monuments from dams, mining projects, and defacement and looting. Okay, industrial houses can support the meaningful conversation of heritage building. Example, CSR funds can be used to purchase a new equipment but release never noxious gases that darken and corrode corrode okay, and corrode marble buildings and discharge fever effluents into rivers. Monument Mitras can help citizens understand why monuments matter by earmarking CSR funds for grants for researching, okay, writing and publishing high quality textbooks and developing imaginative ideas. Okay, way forward. Unless the revamped scheme is suspended, the nation's precious pluralistic heritage stands at the threshold of obliteration. Okay. In the past, Tata Sons, ONGC, and other companies have regularly contributed funds to organizations containing individuals in much needed restoration skills and creating job for them. These steps need to be continued. Okay, corporations need to support. Okay. In the past, Tata Sons, ONGC, and other companies have regularly contributed funds to organizations, training individuals in much needed restoration skills and creating jobs for them. These steps need to be continued. Corporations need to support interdisciplinary teams at the development and research organization for nature, arts and heritage, DRONA Foundation, and the Center for Advancement of Traditional Building Technology and Skills, that they are trying to protect monuments from the emergent threats such as climate change. Okay, the private sector's resources and expertise may also help the ASI and state archaeology departments, directorates, state archaeology directorates to secure monuments from dams, mining projects, defacement, and looting. India's progress in diverse fields is being projected at G20 events across the nation by embracing forward thinking principles of best historical preservation. Businesses, government agencies, and civil society groups can showcase India's genuine progress in this area. Okay. Next question is, or next topic is IVC, Indus Valley Civilization or Harappan Civilization. The Harappan Civilization was an educated, advanced. The Harappan Civilization was an advanced society with a rich artistic and cultural heritage, characterized by its genomic precision, sophistication, attention to detail, and abstract designs. Elaborate. Okay. So the key demand of this question is to write the Harappan architecture, urban planning, and heart of Harappan civilization. So elaborate. The directive word here is elaborate. Give a detailed account as to how and why it occurred, or what is the context. You must be defining key terms whenever the opportune, appropriate, and substantiate with relevant associated facts. Introduction. Begin by context about Harappan architecture. In body, first write about the various remarkable features of Harappan architecture and town planning, urban planning, baked brick houses, elaborate drainage systems, water supply systems, etc. Site examples. Okay. Next, write about various features of. Okay, first write about the various remarkable features of Harappan architecture and town planning. Then next write about the various features of Harappan art, pottery, metallurgy, paintings, and religious symbols. Then conclude it by summarizing. Okay, in introduction, a flourishing civilization emerged on the banks of River Indus in the second half of the third millennium BC and spread across larger parts of Western India. A marked feature if of this civilization. A marked feature of this civilization was the vivid imagination and artistic sensibilities. Harappan and Mohenjo-daro were the two important cities of this civilization. So in body, we will discuss about the features of Indus Valley civilization. Then, okay, then the conclusion. Okay, town planning and architecture, layout. The town were laid out in a rectangular grid pattern, and the roads ran in north, south, and east-west direction, cutting each other at right angles. Construction. The big roads divided the city into many blocks, and smaller lanes were used to connect the houses to the main roads. Harappan used burned bricks of standard dimension for construction. Types of buildings, dwelling houses, public buildings, and public baths are commonly found. Planning. The city was divided into two parts. An upraised citadel in the western part. Upraised citadel in the western part was used for building of larger dimensions such as granaries, administrative buildings, and a courtyard. The elite class stayed in the citadel part of the town. Okay, granaries had strategic air ducts and raised platforms for storage and protection from pests. Example, the Great Granary in Mohenjo-daro and two rows of granaries in India. in Harappa, sorry. Granaries had strategic air decks and raised platforms for storage and protection from pests. Example, the Great Granary in Mohenjo-daro and two rows of six granaries. Public, so six, okay, the Great Granary in Mohenjo-daro and two rows of six granaries in Harappa. Okay, public baths. This is a remarkable feature of the civilization, which indicated the given to importance given to ritualistic cleansing in the culture. Example: Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro. There are no cracks or leaks in the Great Bath, which shows the engineering acumen of the Harappan people. Next is drainage system. This is the most striking feature as small drains ran from small houses and were connected to larger drains running alongside the main roads. They were covered loosely to do periodic maintenance. Cesspits were placed at regular intervals. Use of seals. Seals were primarily used for commercial purpose. They were mostly square and rectangle, but circular and triangular were also used. Some seals were used as amulets, as well as they were found on dead bodies. Pictographic script on seals have been found which might have been used for educational purposes. Example, unicorn seal, Pashupati seal made of steatite. Pashupati seal is made of steatite. Okay, then next feature is bronze casting. There was a wide scale practice of bronze casting. They were made using the lost wax technique or cire perdue. Example, bronze dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro, bronze bull of Kali, Bangan, etc. Pottery. There were plain and painted pottery. Red and black pottery. Harappan civilization. They were mainly used for household purposes, for storage, decorative purposes, and some for straining liquor as they have perforations. Okay. Then next topic is jewelry and clothing. Both men and women wore ornaments like necklaces, fillets, armlets, and finger rings. Girdles, anklets were worn only by women. Okay, beads made of amethyst, quartz, steatite, etc., were quite popular, as was evident from the excavation on Chanudaro and Lothal. For fabric, cotton and wool was used. For fabric, cotton and wool was used. Spindles and wheels made from the expensive fanes as well as cheap clay. Okay, dockyard. Lothal in Gujarat is now called the Manchester of Indus Valley. Here, ship remains and instruments for measuring angles were also found. Lothal had the world's earliest known dock. Lothal had the world's earliest known dock. Lothal had the world's earliest known dock connecting the city to an ancient course of the Sabarmati River. The National Institute of Oceanography in Goa discovered marine microfossils and salt gypsum crystals at the site, indicating that the seawater once filled the structure and it was definitely a dockyard. Okay. Then, in conclusion, the Indus Valley civilization was the largest of all four civilizations of the time and was contemporary to Mesopotamian civilization. The features of Indus Valley, such as the planning network of okay, the features of Indus Valley, such as the planned network of roads, houses, and drainage systems, indicate the planning and engineering skills that developed during those times. Okay, conclusion. The Indus Valley civilization was the largest of all four civilizations of the time and was contemporary to the Mesopotamian civilization. The features of IVC, such as the planned network of roads, houses, and drainage systems, indicate the planning and engineering skills that developed during those times. Okay. Next, we will discuss the secure synopsis of April 2023. Okay. Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art, forms, literature, architecture from ancient to modern times. Okay. Discuss the information provided by the Uttaramerur inscription regarding the self-government enjoyed by the Chola villages of medieval India. Okay. So the Uttaramerur inscription is excellent inscriptional evidence of local democracy and administration during the time of Cholas. Okay, this so the key demand of this question is to write about the Chola local self-governing villages. Okay, here the directive word is discussed. This is an all-encompassing directive. You must debate on paper by going through the details of the issues concerned by examining each one of them. You must give reasons for both for and against arguments. Okay, the structure of the answer, introduction, start by giving context of Uttaramerur inscription, then first write in detail the features of Chola, local self-governing villages, various qualifications, disqualifications, committees, and their nature of responsibilities. Okay, next write about the level of autonomy enjoyed by these Chola local self-governing villages. Okay, next write about the significance of Chola local self-governing villages. Okay, write about the significance of Chola local self-governing villages. Okay, conclude by some conclusion, conclude by summarizing. Okay, introduction. Introduction. India is world's oldest democracy. It is the mother of democracy. There are numerous historical references to it. And 1100 years old inscription from Tamil Nadu called Uttiramerur inscription is an excellent inscriptional evidence of local democracy and administration during the time of Cholas. The inscription issued by Parandaga Chola gives details of election to local self-governance bodies. Okay, Prime Minister Modi recently referred to the Uttaramerur inscription in Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, while discussing India's democratic history. Bodi Uttaramerur inscription. There were two types of villages at the local time in Chola Empire. One type of village consisted of people from different castes and assembly, which ran this type of villages was called Ur. Okay. The second type of villages was called Agrahara types of village, which was settled by Brahmins, in which most of the land was rendered free. Okay. The assembly of this Agrahara type of villages was gathering of the adult men in Brahmana villages called the Sabha or Mahasabha. These villages enjoyed a large measure of the autonomy. The affairs of the village were managed by an executive committee to which educated person owning property were elected by drawing tools or by rotation. Okay, the system of village autonomy with sabhas and their committees developed through the ages and reached its culmination during the Chola rule. Two inscriptions belonging to the period of Parandaga I found that Uttiramerur provide details of the formation and functions of village councils. Okay, that village was divided into 30. The village was divided into 30 wards, and each was to be nominated. Each was to nominate its members of the village council. The qualifications to become a ward member are ownership of at least one fourth value of land, on residence above 30 years and below 70 years of age, knowledge of Vedas. However, certain norms of disqualification were also mentioned in the inscriptions. They were those who had the members of committees for the past 3 years, those who had failed to submit accounts as committee members, those who had committed sins, those who had stolen the property of others. From the persons duly nominated, one was to be chosen for each ward by Kuda, Kudavolai system for a year. The name of the eligible persons were written on palm leaves and put into a pot. A young boy or girl would take out 30 names each for one ward. The inscription outlines various important committees in the Sabha, each with its specific duties. They were divided into six variants, such as Samvatsara Variam, Eri Variam, Tota Variam, Panja Variam, Pon Variam, and Puravuvari Variam, to take up six different functions of the village administration. The committee members were called Variya Perumakkal. They usually met in the temple or under a tree and passed resolutions. Okay, the number of committees and ward members varied from village to village. Committee members served for 360 days before retiring. Any member implicated in wrongdoing or discrepancies in accounts would be immediately removed from the committee, including those who committed crimes such as forgery or rode a donkey as punishment. Okay, conclusion. Hence, Chola administration gave a lot of autonomy to village councils and committees. This local decentralization shows the acumen for good governance back in the ancient and medieval period, which was indigenously developed. Okay, hence Chola administration gave a lot of autonomy to village councils and committees. This local decentralization shows the acumen for good governance back in the ancient and medieval period, which was indigenously developed. Okay, thank you very much. We will see in next video. Thank you very much. Bye.